Anytime I find these Veras, there's always something very unusually strong about them. You got a November prophet. I'm not going to share all my thoughts. Here we are, Midvale Cemetery, the old one. Here's a November prophet's ordination. 4 days from an ordination of a prophet. It's got the November 7th pattern along with my parents' sealing, November 27th. It's got the June 27th going diagonal, which is Joseph's death date in the first succession, which was a crisis, which starts succession, the death of one president. And then you get the November 6th going diagonal into the 2000, which is my grandfather's month and year of death with the Keith. Next to this, you have 2 days from a November president of the church. Now, November matches me. So if we're only using the 4 November prophets, that's even stronger, because there's only been 4 of them. So anytime it's a November, like that November with the Vera, November president of the church, that's even stronger. It's got a Joseph. It's got my July 2nd going diagonal into the 12, which a July 1st is also close to that. I'm not necessarily saying every thought. I'm just sharing, though that probably is not coincidence. But again, to get 2 days from a November prophet, a November ordination, right there with a November 27th and a November 7th pattern, and my grandfather's November death 2000, the Keith, and then the fact that it was a November prophet that died in 1918, Joseph F. Smith. There's his birthday right there. That's his death month and year. And then it was a November prophet that succeeded the death of that November prophet, Heber J. Grant. He became the 7th president of the church in this November. That's a November 7th pattern. Here you have my grandma, her month and year of death. Just like you had my grandfather's going diagonal there. And a Ruth, which signifies something royal and important that comes from Ruth, right? King David. And then here you have a November prophet. So this defies the odds. This is very, very unusual. And the fact that the Vera is right there. And I'm going to prove why I don't believe that that is coincidence. So I'm not even going to show all my thoughts. But I should keep this simple. If you go right here, I think there's 3, this is an old cemetery. I think there's 3 November 1980s in this cemetery. This is the only one with a 7 right there. So it's got my pattern, 10 days for my birth. It also has a November prophet Taylor, which is a November 1st, has his pattern. If you go diagonal, you get November 7th Apostle Mark Peterson's, close to him, November 3rd, 1900, or November 17, 1900. I'm just taking note, and I'm not going to share all my thoughts. I got to shorten this video, actually. But look, for some reason, right next to that, you get 7 days from President Nelson's birth. 7 days. What's the magic number? November 7th. That part could be coincidence, I admit that, but that's interesting to me. So then you get my brother, my uncle's birthday. My uncle, I think he was born in 1949, so you get almost all his digits correctly. I'm just taking note, that's all. You get my sister's birthday on November 7th, Apostle Scott's birth year, with my July 2nd, my patriarchal blessing date, going into November 7th, Apostle Scott's birth year, and my sister's. I don't think that that's coincidence. And then kitty corner from this, you get another November prophet. And this lady's name, her middle name is Vera. I've looked it up and researched it, and then I might not be able to finish this video because some lady's pulling up. And then if you go diagonal, look at what you get. You get one of the few 1980 babies in the cemetery. It may be the only one I found that was born in 1980 and died. And just the first and last name. Anyways, that's it. Thanks, Mom. Love you.